Hello, and welcome to the second episode of Cosmere Conundrum. I'm your host, Nemo,
And I'm Roman.
and together we are diving into the wondrous world of Cosmere. Now, I have read Mistborn before. Roman has not. I have not read
Nope.
anything that is not named Mistborn. So, once this is finished, I'll be in the dark. Today,
I am in dark.
today we are going to talk about chapters 4, 5, and 6 of Mistborn, The Final Empire. So, Roman, what happened in these chapters?
A lot.
These are some long chapters. I think longer than the first.
Yeah, if I go look at the audiobook where I can see the chapter, like how long it took to read it. 54 minutes, 45 minutes, 58 minutes.
Yeah, these
are chunky chapters.
Yeah.
And it's needed. It's needed. I like how in the span of 3 chapters we've gone from beginning planning stages of something to we've got a plan with no clue if it will work.
Hey, if it's anything like a D&D plan, it's definitely gonna work.
What D&D have you played? Because
Exactly.
I don't remember our plans ever going well.
I mean, all D&D plans are the best made plans in the world.
Remember,
except for that one thing.
I distinctly remember you spending an entire D&D session emotionally manipulating me.
That's the job of a DM, come on. If I cannot gaslight people, why am I DM?
He's our usual DM, and he loves to torture me.
I love to torture everyone. You should ask my other group. Oh dear God. Anyway, chapter 4. We begin with the thieving crew back in their base when Kelsier and Doxon have gone out. They are talking about Kelsier and the job that he's planning, and Vin is just sitting quietly listening to all this chatter.
Yeah, and Vin is not enjoying having any attention paid to her whatsoever.
Yeah, I mean, they ask her what Kelsier wanted or what this job is, and she doesn't know anything. She doesn't reply anything.
Yeah, she's like, no. She's not so much in denial as she's just confused.
Yeah, we then go on to learn that Kelsier was a legendary scar thief even before he was sent to the pits by Lord Ruler himself for trying to break into his palace. And this is when he didn't even have his powers. That is the big thing that we find out in this chapter.
Yeah, that Kelsier is still a relative newcomer to his powers.
Only a couple of years, if these thieves are to be believed. So he is the only one to ever escape the pits. That is, again, quite...
These pits are sounding more and more ominous.
We do later learn what are in these pits, and so makes sense why it is so.
Yeah, we learn like the Lord Ruler does not want anybody to leave it. I would not be surprised if Kelsier is technically... Kelsier should be public enemy number 1. Unfortunately, the Lord Ruler can't reveal what's in the pits, therefore cannot make Kelsier public enemy number 1.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't really propaganda your way out of it.
Yeah, he cannot admit what's wrong.
Yeah.
He just has to hope.
Yeah, with that, people are also sort of theory crafting or rumor mongering about his scars, that he got them while climbing the wall, fighting a monster, killing an inquisitor, all sorts of random stuff that you would hear.
Yeah. And I have no doubt in my mind that Kelsier has been fueling these rumors.
I mean, given the way he goes on about like encouraging his team members, definitely.
Yeah. Like even in the prologue, you could tell like even amongst the plantations, he is known. And we know how little information they get in the plantations.
Yeah, like even Lord Ruler himself cannot get enough information from the boundaries. So them getting even a sliver of information about Kelsier makes Kelsier's legend just grow exponentially.
I really like just this short bit in between, just to calm down and just get that on the ground feel from relatively low level thieves about everything to do with this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like they mutter the word Mistborn, and they don't even know if it's really real.
Yeah,
they don't seem to notice that it's really real.
Yeah, they herald Mistborns as basically something that the mists bring with themselves. Like they are more mythical than the Inquisitors. Yeah. So
it emphasizes how rare it is, even more so amongst Scar.
Yeah, like we hear about the hierarchy in your general Scar thief underground, your regular thieves, those who do not have any powers, the thieving crews who just get by on the scraps of the society.
Yeah.
And then you have these misting crews who have some members who can do allomancy, and so those crews are more highly sought than these lower level thieves. And that is something they also wonder if Vin is a communicator between these two groups, Kelsius groups and this Cayman or Mylef's group now.
Yeah, and move to, the cruise leaves and we begin to get introduced to the people Kelsey has recruited, high-level thieves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we meet like Breeze, who we learn that is a soother, Ham, who's a thug, Clubs, we later learn that he's a smoker, and Heaton, the head of the Scar Rebellion. So these 4 people, and then Kelsey and Doxon himself, obviously.
And you can tell via the fact that we are listening through this via Vin. Vin is confused. She does not understand how these people trust each other.
Yeah.
Especially Kelsey and Doxon. Like, she doesn't understand it. She's never interacted with anybody who can trust anyone.
Yeah, like when Kelsier lets Clubs go after like they plan everything out, and he tells his plan, and Kelsier Clubs just says that he's not going to be a part of it, and Clubs goes. Vin wonders if Kelsier is going to send assassins after him.
Yeah, because she just thinks that, well, that's the damn thing. That's what you do.
Yeah.
But I think it's also important, like, we get a bit of an explanation on some of the metals more, especially pewter being strength. Basically, pewter makes you the Hulk temporarily.
Yeah. One of the best things about this chapter is when Breeze tries to manipulate Vin into giving him a glass of wine. And there, the conversation between Ham and Breeze about what this power entails. Is it just manipulation or is it total control? And we later learn that Vin does have some choice in the matter. But where does the line lie between
It's more a hypnotic suggestion than anything else. It's a thing of, if you really don't want to do this, or if you're aware it's happening, you can stop it, but you do have to be aware of it a bit.
Yeah.
Or be more powerful, because I think another big thing is we learn via this that Breeze is a lot more powerful than Kelsier adds to them.
Yeah, Vin cannot feel his powers, whereas she was able to feel Kelsier's power upon her.
When she doesn't expect it, at least. When she doesn't expect it, she doesn't notice.
Yeah, and that's also why Clubs doesn't trust Breeze. We later learn that while Kelsier says that Clubs is able to, again, smoke himself, protect himself from Breeze's power somewhat, but Clubs still does not trust if Breeze is manipulating or not when he starts and when he stops his gaslighting.
Yeah, we could call it that.
It is basically that. In D&D, there are 2 spells. You might have heard of them. There's one called Suggestion and the other called Dominate Master. So I think this power is more like Suggestion, where you will not do what you don't want to do. Like what will harm you.
A brutal suggestion would be if Breeze was told to kill someone. Percy told Finn to kill someone, she wouldn't do it because that's not what she would ever want to do.
Yeah, that's against her nature.
Because she has been in the underworld, has been dragon, she is already more willing to be subservient to someone of authority.
We even later
that's
learn
just how she was raised.
Yeah, we even later see Vin sort of muttering about and just thinking that she was first a slave to Reen, then to Cayman, and now she will be a slave to Kelsier if Kelsier.
Yeah, she has no idea what Kelsier wants with her. She has no clue that Kelsier wants to be honest about things.
We learn somewhat about the Scar Rebellion, that the Scar Rebellion hasn't really been going very well for the past 1,000 years.
Honestly, to call it the rebellion is being extremely generous here.
I mean, in the next chapter, we learn that they have 300 people.
It's 300 people in the immediate vicinity of Lucidel.
And that includes the women and children, those who cannot fight, like elderly.
But
and
we do know,
sick.
for instance, that even further to the north, there are probably more people, because the further out you go, the less control the Lord Ruler has. It's just in the vicinity of Lucidel, the center, there's bugger all.
Yeah, and we learn of like the massacre that happened a couple centuries ago that resulted in the death of 7,000 Scar, which is rather a large number.
Yeah, we don't, at this point, we don't yet know just how many people there are. We learn that in chapter 6.
Yeah.
But even here, you can already tell, oh, that's not a good number. That's a lot of people dead.
Yeah, while he disapproves of the Scar Thief's methods, Kelsier's methods, and the general underworld, he is still willing to ask Kelsier's help and
I think it's plans. Very much, it's a thing of, he might be the first leader of the Scar Rebellion who's actually pragmatic enough.
Yeah, and given that we meet like Marsh at the end of chapter 6, we learn what kind of leader he was, because he still shows some deference to Marsh when Marsh comes in the 6th chapter. We'll later see.
Yeah, I love basically the shock of the others learning that Heathen is their employer.
Yeah.
Just what's this plan if we're working with the Scar? Also, every one of them knows who the leader of the Scar Rebellion is.
I mean, in the next chapter, when they say that we can put the troops in the northern caves, Eden is like, you know about the caves? And they're like, no, Lord Ruler knows about the caves.
Yeah, to be fair, I don't think the Lord Ruler knows the name of the leader, because Eden is able to move around completely freely. It's more a thing of, Eden thought he was being secretive. Everyone knows him at least in the leadership of the underworld, he's known.
Yeah. I mean, which makes sense.
Which is kind of. It makes sense, with good God man work on your security.
Again, his rebellion is not important enough for Lord Ruler to know him and personally do something about him.
And then the reveal of what the plan is.
Yeah, the plan is revealed.
Admittedly, I did expect. I wasn't expecting it to be this way.
Yes, Kelsier just dropping the news in front of them without any pretense.
Also, I'm glad that it's also not a chapter ending moment.
Yes,
it's just this is happening. This is the thing. Moving along.
Yeah, and these chapters being long gives Sanderson enough time to address not just the thing that is happening, but the precursor of it and the fallout from it. And that is, I think, one of the good things about this book. I do have several qualms, which I will address at some point. Maybe not today, but at some point, definitely. If you know me, you know what qualms I have with this book. Yeah. So they talk about the payments, 30,000 boxings, which Bees says is not a lot for overthrowing the government.
And even from what little we know now about boxings and the currency of the world, that isn't a lot.
No. But the fact that they were able to save, still 30,000 boxing is a lot.
Considering how we already know Scar gets paid nothing. They've saved this for years, for decades. That's impressive, especially because they've also had to hide that money.
Yes. Another thing that Eden at least promises the crew is Lord Ruler's ATM, and we learn what ATM is at this point. Basically, the currency, like the gold standard of this universe.
Yeah, if you imagine it in fantasy, you often have gold pieces, silver pieces, copper pieces. Like boxings are silver pieces, maybe even bronze or copper. This is gold.
Yes. This is basically what determines the economy.
Yes.
Yeah. So they talk about the hurdles being the garrison, steel ministry, obligators, the Kolos army, which is mentioned a few times.
Yeah. At the moment, we don't really know much.
Yeah, they just mentioned like what are the hurdles gonna be, and if they are in, given the absurdity of this plan.
Yeah.
And all of them are in except Clubs, who goes out. And then just Kelsier just goes and outs Vin in front of all of them, saying that she's a Mistborn. Which shows you how much Kelsier trusts these people.
To be fair, we first have Clubs just buggering off. And we then get, just whether people are in, and everyone just says, well, yes. And then he specifically asks Vin. And Vin is confused why she's being asked.
Yeah, Vin just assumed
and then it's when Kelsey just reveals it, which tells me that Kelsey trusts these people a lot.
Yes, and even Breeze says, or Breeze or Ham, one of them says that having one Mistborn, their plan might have gone better, but two Mistborns definitely build some confidence in them.
Yeah, but also we had at the start of the chapter like Breeze like telling Vin like, "Oh, you'll probably only meet one Scar Mistborn in your entire life," and he's just, and here I was saying that.
Yeah. Then obviously he tells his ulterior motive, which is that he's going to kill Lord Ruler, which, given what we know about Kelsier, makes sense.
It makes sense. It also makes me somewhat question his sanity.
I mean, someone asks him if he's gone insane, and he says completely. I don't remember who it is.
That's just more of a joke than anything else. A joke amongst friends, even. But
yeah,
no, he's utterly insane. He's a smart man. He's also insane.
Yeah. Now, do you think he's telling true about this 11th metal business, or he's just bluffing to these people to get their morale up?
I think he has heard of rumors enough in the north that he thinks it might be true, and he just hopes it will work.
I mean, yeah, it is very much like hope at this point, because he doesn't even know how.
I don't think he's certain. Yeah, I think he's not certain if it will work. He's hoping it will work.
Yeah, and at this point,
I also just wanted to ask you. What I want to ask you is: so we get the color of that metal described.
Do we? I don't remember exactly what color it is.
It's silvery white. There are a few silvery white metals out there. A extremely high level metal like that. There's not that many.
Yeah, I mean, depends what metal are you thinking?
Platinum.
Yes, that is one metal that is missing at this moment.
Platinum is somewhat silvery white.
Yeah, but we have also seen that he invents metal, ATM being one of them. So maybe it's another kind of invented metal.
But also, he's got almost nothing of it. And it's a metal they don't know about. It's going to have to be a rare metal. If it's a real life metal, it's going to be rare. It's going to be hard to get. Platinum meets that.
That is extremely fair, yes. At this point, we learn that allomancy has 10 and then 11 metal instead of 8, which we're led to believe in the previous chapters.
It's 8, I think they do say 8 basic.
8 basic metals, yes, that is fair.
So you can get from that there's more than that. And we know about half of them at the moment?
Yeah, we know, I mean, this is from next chapter, but we know about iron, steel.
Yeah, pewter,
tin. We also know that ATM is one of them metal. We don't know what it does, though.
It screams of one of the higher metals.
Yeah. And we hear about copper, zinc, but we are still not, like, they are not shown, their powers are not shown yet.
We can guess just from the city gates what they are.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
do have the city gates.
The basic metals are all around the city gates, so makes sense.
Yeah. So that we also still have brass and bronze.
Yeah. And given that there is a smoker, one of them is definitely about hiding. I don't exactly remember which one it is, or if it was mentioned.
I can't remember.
So,
yeah, but yeah.
That is this chapter, basically, at this point.
Yeah, it ends with Vin thinking of how she's bound herself to a madman, but she doesn't care. She just wants to learn about elemancy.
Yeah, and that
she
is
still
sort of
doesn't.
her.
She still doesn't think she can trust people, and I think it's one of the core themes of this book is going to be trust.
Given what she does in the 6th chapter, just lurking around, yes.
Oh, absolutely. But it's also, I fully expect in the next chapter that Kelsian knows this. He's not stupid.
Yeah.
You probably fully expect at least one person to be spying on him. He knows damn well that place isn't secure enough for this shit.
No, you're absolutely right.
I would not be surprised if in the next chapter they abruptly open the door and Vin is just there.
Yeah, I mean...
But we need to continue because we still have the end of chapter thing.
Yeah, the epigraph. So the author doesn't know what they are supposed to do. And the deepness, whatever that is, must be destroyed. Otherwise, it will consume the world. And the author is the only one who can do it.
Yes, and he's been told he's the promised. He's basically the promised one.
Yeah, the chosen one, basically.
Yeah, the chosen one. And he has no clue what he's doing.
I mean, that's how the chosen one trope goes. They usually do not have any clue what they're doing.
Yeah, I know that's true.
But chapter 5. We begin this chapter with Kelsier, Doxon, and Vin being left in the room when everyone has gone. Celebrating, basically, the coming together of this group.
But also, we learn a bit, we just see a bit of Kelsier's thieving ability in that he spots something that Doxon hadn't spotted, even though Doxon had spotted other things already. Kelsier just knows that little bit more that pushes it over the edge.
Yeah, he basically says there's always another secret. And I think that is also going to be one of the mantras of this book, that there is always another secret. It's not a line you'd just drop out of nowhere.
We clearly haven't learned everything about Kelsier. Even from his own perspective. Even his own chapters, he's not telling us everything.
Yes. And given how he behaves in this chapter, I don't think he's going to tell us a lot throughout this book.
What we're going to learn about Kelsier is coming from his conversations with Vin.
Yeah, so they are celebrating together, and Vin keeps wondering if the plan is genuine or if it's just a facade. Because for her, who has grown up with the Final Empire, she thinks it's impossible to overthrow the Final Empire and the Lord Ruler. Which makes sense if you have had something for 1,000 years so that even the earliest memories have basically faded. All you remember, all the collective knowledge is about Lord Ruler and his reign. How can you even think to overthrow that?
Yeah, this chapter is basically, the first part of this chapter is basically just a continuation of the previous chapter. And we just don't, Clubs returns. Clubs just doesn't trust soothers.
Yes.
Which makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes sense. Like, if you know someone is a soother, be wary.
Yes.
It tracks.
Yeah. So Kelsier, before Clubs returns, Kelsier says to Doxon that he needs more atium and that he spent it on buying Ursa's contract and at Lord Trusting's place. So we know he used it in his allomancy. We just don't know what it does.
Yeah, atium does something. We just don't know what yet. But doesn't he? Oh, hang on. Yeah, he used it at Trusting's plantation.
Yeah, he just says that he used it at Trusting's plantation, and Vin wonders if he had some role to play in that.
Yeah, she doesn't actually. she doesn't quite click. It doesn't click in the mind that Kelsey is just outright responsible for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
because she hasn't seen anything of him that would make him powerful enough to do that. Because she still doesn't understand elemency.
Mm-hmm. And he then says that he plans to rob a nobleman tonight, so that he can acquire more atium. And we find out that it is going to be House Venture because they are the most powerful of the great houses
at the moment. We had a mention of Venture in the prologue.
Yes, Venture was the one who sent the obligator to Lord Trusting.
Yes, so we already knew it was a powerful house. It's a nice connection.
Yeah. Clubs then returns. He admits to being a part of the group. He just wanted to do it outside Breeze's presence, obviously. When Kelsey asks why, Clubs says that he has been hiding mistings for a very long time, and sooner or later he will be captured. So it's basically his one last hurrah before he goes out.
Yeah, I think when Clubs was introduced, he was also described as being much older than the rest of them.
That seems like it, yes.
Like, he's older, he's already, like, he's limping, he's not the same, he's not young, he knows his end is somewhat near.
Yes.
And he's like, one last hurrah, let's go for it.
Yes. So then Kelsier, Vin, and Doxon, after Clubs leaves, go up to the roof where Kelsier puts on his mist cloak. He embraces the mist and then laments at the fact that Mare, his wife, isn't there, who we learn was a Tenai.
He's basically, but we also have a thing of he's standing there near the ledge. He's like, oh, I haven't done this in a long time this way, and then he looks to his side, and then he remembers his wife isn't there.
Yeah,
it's a thing of
yeah,
man.
Yeah, we learned that years ago, Kelsier, Mare, and Doxon basically were one crew who used to rob and steal from the greatest houses. And then it became so unwieldy that Lord Ruler himself had to create a trap to catch Kelsier.
The fact that the Lord Ruler had to be involved in this.
Yeah.
We've already, the Lord Ruler doesn't get involved in much anymore. Oh boy, Kelsey was dangerous.
Yeah.
And that was as a no power having person.
Yeah, and probably why he was also sent to Pits of Half Sin, because he didn't really have any powers.
Oh, yeah, obvious.
Because if he had powers, he would have been executed then and there.
Well, we do know Mare was also sent to the pits, I believe, so...
Fair, yeah. She was a Tenai.
It's more that if you're dangerous enough as a user, then you're doomed.
Perhaps, yeah. Then, obviously, he tells us about what Mist Cloak does, and that it helps him blend in with the other Mistborns, and the city guards don't bother him because all Mistborns are hype on, obviously.
Yeah, we also then... One thing is that this is when we learn that it's House Venture that's currently the most powerful.
Yes.
We get the mention of Urbane and Teniat. And with this Venture that's the most powerful. And the noble houses do not have great security. They know where his safe is.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is a sign of how poor the security is because none of the noble houses think the Scar are a threat.
Yes. I mean, even later, Kelsier wonders if the guards that they have posted are Scar. So there might be a chatter amongst the house servants of these great houses and the lowly Scar that...
I know. I think it's they call these people, like the people who serve the noble houses, as Scar traitors. I fully think they're doing it because it pays better.
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, if something pays you better, that always creates a class divide, and divide and rule has always been one of the most efficient method to rule a population.
But we learn about haze killers.
Yeah.
But we don't yet know what they are. We learn that a bit later. when Kelsey then starts using his powers and he just like jumps off the building, because we don't get switch back to Vin's perspective, I can just imagine the one thing that happened with Vin there, and that is jaw meets floor.
Yeah.
I fully believe because we don't really get that. It's like Doxon probably had to reassure her for a few minutes.
Yes. I mean, Doxon, we know that sometimes forgets that Kelsier is a Mistborn now because he.
Yes, but Doxon is probably also shocked, but he's probably like. Doxon is a shocked of, oh, right, he can do that. Vin is a what?
Yes. We learn what the metals do. That steel is used for pushing on metals, iron is used for pulling on them, tin is used to enhance your senses, pewter is used to enhance your physical prowess. And
yeah, but also we also learn that burning iron or steel like points you to different bits of metal.
Yes. And you can only sort of push or pull themselves directly away from you or directly towards you. Using steel pushing and iron pulling, Kelsier just jumps over buildings and stuff. He leaps over large distances.
Yeah, and it's why you full on learn of, oh, this is why some of the Scar think that Mistborn can fly.
I mean, it's how Superman used to be. In the first few years of Superman's existence, he used to jump. It was only like a couple years later when they just gave him the powers of flying, because flying is easier than jumping over large distances.
It's also easier to draw.
Yes. So that, yeah, basically he just jumps over large distances and he goes to Keep Venture.
Well, yeah, we also learn of Gamel.
Yeah, Kelsier's teacher. The one who taught him steel pushing and iron pulling.
And he calls him an old lunatic, which, yeah, okay, fair enough.
I mean, you have to be a lunatic to try these things, I guess, a bit. Anyway.
Considering he's falling off a building and then pushes himself up, yeah.
Yeah, and he uses the pennies to sort of throw himself in opposite directions, which is quite fascinating. Mm-hmm. I mean, it makes sense. A penny would then go on the ground and then push you against it. Which is quite. I think it's a very neat idea. At Keep Venture, Kelsier just brutalizes the guards.
Oh, this is pretty much the first time we see just how brutal this book is going to get in terms of violence.
Yeah.
We already know it's not going to be shy about difficult topics.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't expecting this level of violence already.
Yeah. And there are some
I have a very imaginative mind. I can see this happening in my head.
One thing about Sanderson that I will say, that he writes very cinematic battles. Like that entire scene of Kelsier in Keep Venture. It's very easy to visualize unless you have a Fantasia. Then it's very easy to keep track of who's where and who's doing what.
Yeah, we keep getting an explanation of where he is, what he sees, who's there.
Yes. We learned that the guards wear metal armor because apparently metal manipulation is rare enough to not worry about.
Yeah, what we basically learn is that the steel and iron manipulation is rarer than the others, which just means it's easier to just have armor on, because otherwise you're stuck with leather armor.
Yeah. I mean, then you get those dedicated haze killers who are specifically trained to fight Mistings and Mistborns. And those, we see how effective they can be in, like, they're very coordinated and their attacks are very seamless, like transitioning from one metal to other doesn't even give Kelsier an edge until obviously he just takes over and then kills all but one who runs away.
I do think it's very clear that, yes, these people are trained in fighting this, but they're not that skilled.
Yes. I mean,
they don't have a lot of they probably won't have a lot of experience in it.
Yeah, I mean, at some point, skill isn't an issue. The power of a Mistborn is over here, and the power of a haze killer without any allomantic abilities is down at the bottom.
Yes, and also it's just painfully obvious. Like Kelsey is willing to be extremely brutal.
Yes. He kills all but one, who then runs away, and allomancers arrive. And Calcier fends them off long enough to escape with the vault, the safe, in which
Yeah,
he
but
later finds Atium.
Yeah, he is injured.
Yes, he is taking a beating. He is not impervious as he was made out to be in the prologue.
Mm-hmm. He just appears to be, and he definitely puts up a visage of being unbeatable, which is probably necessary in his life.
Yeah, and we do learn that Pewter allows him to stay standing long enough to project this like unbeatable aura. That's exactly what he does throughout the fight. Just flares Pewter so that his bones don't break on impact with the canes and the coins and stuff.
Yeah, we also learn that this chapter, we also learn that some metals burn faster than others, which, okay, yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I mean, depends which metal enhances which metabolic ability. So if it's like a physical ability, obviously it'll burn more because your entire body is using it, compared to something that just enhances senses, and then only few parts of your body are using those things. But yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
We see at the end that he very much enjoyed this barbaric display of his allomantic abilities.
Yeah, and it's also like, oh, he's full on, like, it's one of those things where Finn is correct. He is a madman.
Yeah.
He does enjoy this a little too much.
Yes. And then in the epigraph, the author talks about Terrace being the only place where the deepness can be defeated. And the author begins to sense whatever this deepness is high in the mountains of Terrace, which is concerning.
Yeah, it's not good. It's very much not good.
Yeah, it gives me very much like a Harry Voldemort connection vibe.
It does make me more and more convinced it's the Lord Buddha speaking.
That would make sense. Chapter 6. The
Chapter 6.
After the storm, I guess.
Everything is in a normal morning, and Vin is confused, which is a lot in life.
Yeah, we start this chapter basically with Vin wondering and being suspicious deeply of everything one after the other. Yeah.
She's deeply suspicious. She's confused. She doesn't know what to do because she's on an actual bed for once in her own room.
Yeah, she doesn't understand the concept of private rooms. She is trying to adjust to this slightly better lifestyle compared to like a normal Scar.
Yeah.
She wonders about like perfumes and a scented bath.
Yeah, but also she's peeking through a hole just to see what's going on, and Doxon just casually walks by and knows full well that she's there.
I mean, see, they have also grown up in Doxon. We learned that was plantation Scar before he escaped, so they have grown up similar to how Vin has.
Yeah, lived. They know what it's like.
Yeah, they know what it's like to not trust anyone, to basically expect danger at every turn. So,
but we also get an interesting thought from Vin, which is that these men are more like noblemen than Scar.
They definitely live like more noblemen than Scar.
And it's very much go. I think one of the things that's going to be is that Vin is uncomfortable because she has the most recent inductee into this world, and she feels uncomfortable because she's always been at the lowest deep end of society.
Yes. She gets suspicious of how clean the house is. Every corner is clean. The ash is not just everything lying is in the corner. She sneaks around and tries to learn more about the house. She learns how many rooms there are, how many floors there are, what room is there, where, what room is how large. She just does a thorough overview of this entire house and what is going on, just to keep an eye on everything.
Then we also get the lovely thing of she does not like smelling like a noblewoman, which makes the end of this chapter even funnier.
Yeah. Oh, that is gonna be amazing. Seeing her go from this always always like extremely introverted, always suspicious, uh, just sitting in a corner girl, to this noblewoman who is there to spy on people, has to talk to people to learn more about the happenings.
Yeah, it's my worst nightmare.
Yes. Oh dear God, that is gonna be amazing.
Yeah, we also then learn that Clubs is an actual craftsman, and he's actually like he's running an actual shop during the day.
I mean, yeah, you need to have like a proper front if you're gonna have something going on in the back. That has always been the case with most of the underworld.
Yeah, obviously,
crews.
but it's a good big difference between Gaiman's crew, which was fronted by basically a pup.
Yeah.
Whereas Clubs is a highly respectable craftsman.
Yeah, he is a very respected carpenter, and the woodwork happening in his shop basically is, given the size of his house and the number of Scar servants he has, he's definitely very well paid, which means his work is either being bought by the great houses or like the noble houses in general.
Almost certainly.
Yeah.
It's high quality stuff as well.
Yeah, so Toxin tells her to get ready for the meeting at noon. And once she does, she meets Ham in the kitchen, who asks about Kelsey
Ham
and
was just
Toxin.
arrived.
Yeah, and Ham just straight up tells her that she likes to keep an eye on everyone.
Well, it does make a lot of sense, especially with, fortunately, she was a girl in a thieving crew.
Yeah.
She's going to have to be careful. Because we also learn that her brother basically insisted that she keep her hair short, which is why she also outright says, like, I'm not like other women. It's that trope, but this one actually makes sense. This is not I'm not like other women because I'm different. No, I'm not like other women because I had to make sure I didn't look like a woman.
Yeah, it's like how Arya escapes in a Game of Thrones.
Yeah, it's a thing of she needed to be careful. That's the unfortunate thing.
Yeah.
But it's a good example of how this trope can work.
Yes. Vin then sees Ham pick up food and gathers up the courage to go and take the food. And no one minds her, but just the sheer image of her tiptoeing in to get the food, getting an extra wrap, and just running out to her room is so funny.
Yeah, she's being respected by these women, and she's, huh? I'm an important person now. She thought with a measure of this conference. A question mark at the end of that wouldn't have been out of place.
Yeah.
But she still acts like she's the lowest low because she takes that third bay wrap because she cannot eat because she wants to make sure save the flatbread.
She wants to keep it for future if and when she doesn't.
She has no clue. She's just not so when she's gonna be fat again, so she just makes sure she has food.
Yeah, she doesn't understand the concept of 3 meals a day.
But let's be honest, 1 meal a day is probably generous for her.
Yeah. Anyway, we meet Lusty if that's how it's pronounced. I have no idea.
Honestly, considering I listened to the audiobook, I can't tell you. His accent is a bit thick.
Yeah, so he is Clubs' nephew, and he speaks, again, with an Eastern slang that we see.
He's a very thick Eastern accent. And yeah, you can tell.
Vin doesn't understand him, but figures out that he's trying to get her to go to the meeting, or like follow him at least. And when she gets to the meeting, she looks at the arrangement of chairs and she is instantly dismayed that it is not in a corner somewhere. She has to sit in the group with
She just sits
everyone.
in the middle. At least she's sitting next to Doxson.
Yeah, which is quite.
But I also really like
amazing.
it is we get like, so we've seen Ham arrive, and Ham's the thug, right?
Yes, he is. He burns pewter. He's a pewter arm.
Yeah. We also then learn that Breeze arrived. Breeze had arrived in at midday, and he had a metric ton of luggage with him, disguised as boot scraps.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't help whatsoever. He loves using his powers.
I mean, he later says that if you are using your powers, if you're using your hands to do your own work, you're doing it wrong.
Mm.
And then Ham and Breeze again bicker about the economic status and stuff like that. But anyways, who cares about that?
Mm-hmm. We get this fun thing of, yep, Vin is very much observing this chapter and trying to do what she always does, which is hide in the corner.
Yeah.
Except she cannot hide in the corner, so she makes herself as small as she can in the chair.
And the chair is,
considering we know she's
big for her.
Very short in height.
Mm-hmm.
It's not difficult for her.
Yeah. So together they start to sketch up plans for dealing with the different obstacles in their way for overthrowing the Empire.
It's more detailed than I was expecting.
Yeah. They mention Luthadell's garrison, which is 20,000 troops, and given.
Yes, and it was at that point that I had to start recalibrating my estimations of the population of this world.
We learned that the Luthadell's population is about 1 million, like Luthadell and surrounding area.
And I just said, well, my estimate was maybe 100,000 people in this city.
No, it's a very big city.
Gotta have to rework that. Mm-hmm. It's much. I was like, well, damn. And a garrison of 20,000, and Kelsey Outer calls that a small garrison.
Yeah, because most of the troops are at the border.
Which makes me worried how big the actual army is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And just how many people are actually there. Also, considering we knew Tresting was an up-and-coming lord somewhat.
Mm-hmm.
That was from the Obligator, we got the hint that he's up-and-coming.
Yeah, he
only has a few hundred scar.
Yeah.
How many lords are there?
Depends really on the size of. Depends on the size of the world, obviously.
Well, the thing is, if we've got more than around 1 million people in the area of Luthadel, and we know how poor crop growth is.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're probably more close to the thousands of plantations than the hundreds of plantations.
Makes more sense, given that the crops fail on a regular basis. You would need way too many plantations to accommodate the needs of the entire empire.
Considering how little can grow, good God, you do not want a complete failure of the harvest.
Oh yeah,
like that's bad enough in real life, where they might still have some food stocks available or some animals available to kill.
You know what is perplexing? We hear about the ash mounts, the volcanoes, that are constantly spewing ash. We haven't really heard if there has been a full-on volcano outburst in recent memory.
Just constantly spewing.
Yeah, they're just constantly spewing ash, or they're just like it's like Iceland, where it's just on the surface.
Maybe we don't read it. What I do find interesting is, we know they must have livestock, because I think in the product we have a mention of sausage.
I think so, yeah.
So they must have livestock somewhere. Unfortunately, that is restricted to the nobility.
I mean, we even see in the last chapter, we saw that plants that are not brown are restricted to nobility. Like, Venture had white plants and yellow plants and stuff like that.
Yeah. Basically, the plan is just
crazy.
The plan is first, it's just like, okay, we need money. We need to get the ATM away from the Lord Ruler, because without it, he cannot pay his armies.
Yeah.
We need to get the we need to build up an army somehow, and we need to get the garrison out of the city.
Yeah, those are the three biggest
they are correct
things.
They are correct. If there's a garrison of 20,000, they will not be able to get into an army.
Yeah, and
that Scar army would have to be 100,000 strong to have a chance.
Yeah, and I think that it's a two-walled city, right? From the map, I think there are two walls.
Let me just check it. Lucedale. No, that's a road.
Oh, that's a road. Okay.
Yeah, the other thing is it's a ring road in the middle of the city.
Okay, yeah, that still. Yeah, even with one wall that is manned by 20,000 troops, a siege would never work, and a straight frontal attack also won't work.
Yeah, and I also think one big thing here is none of these people are officers. Really, they are not. They are not going to be trained in siege warfare.
Oh yeah, I mean they barely have like quarterstaffs. They are not gonna be getting any weapon to take on the entire military that are properly armed with armor and like your swords and shields and what have you. So yeah, they talk about the garrison, obviously. They talk about dealing with the great houses and like inciting chaos amongst them.
Yeah, we basically get a case of the great houses are already rivals with each other. We're just going to encourage that.
Yeah, and
of course, an inter-great house war.
And Kelsier mentions that he has already started, and apparently there was a rumor going that 3 Mistborns tried to attack Strafventure, which Kelsier says that Strafventure thinks very highly of himself.
And he just finds it insulting.
Yeah.
I love how Vin only realizes just how serious they are about a quarter of the way through this meeting.
Yeah, when they start talking about gathering troops and obviously how they are going to get people out of the cities into the caves. So obviously in like when Vin realizes how serious they are, she curses with the name of Lord Ruler. And Kelsier outright shuts it, that even like swearing upon his name is
honoring him.
Yeah, is honoring him, is acknowledging his divinity, which I find it quite interesting that he rejects a ruler that has been there for 1,000 years. Maybe because he has seen the Lord Ruler. He definitely puts the blame of his wife's death upon the Lord Ruler, because obviously he was the one who sent him. Yeah. They then begin planning how to tackle all the issues. They agree that the general Scar populace will not rise up because they are so beaten down, so broken over the centuries. So obviously they'll have to come up with an idea about how to get a house war going. And we learn that Lord Ruler allows the nobility to squabble from time to time just to keep them in check.
Yeah, because it weakens them.
Yeah.
It means they're not a threat there.
Yeah. The group then mentions the Kolos army and how the Lord Ruler will not march the Kolos army upon the city unless threatened.
Yeah, if he uses the Kolos army, he's admitting defeat.
Yeah. So they agree to recruit the troops from the Scar population in Luthadel and the surrounding places and give this task to Breeze, which Kelsier says that Breeze and his like other soothers will be able to force people into it, and Breeze is very annoyed at the word force, that he doesn't force people, he encourages them. Yes.
But we also just, that's the moment where basically Doxson reveals that they know about the caves, and in the audiobook it's very much a, you know about the Agua Caverns?
Yeah, he is very much panicked.
He basically panicked for a few seconds.
Yeah, I mean, to him, from his perspective, no one knows. It's safe haven for everyone. There are people there. He said there are 300 people there. If someone knows about the the cave, chances are the rumor of the cave will spread. And he's thinking about the people in the cave who, if discovered, will be slaughtered. So he's not wrong in his concern.
But it's also quite funny how like even the Lord Ruler knows about them, and it's like Deedon is probably not the first leader of the Scar Rebellion to use the closest caves to the city.
Obviously. I mean,
which, by
the
way,
massacre that we heard
away from the city.
Mm-hmm.
Also, the caverns are still a week away from the city on marching. That's just show the scale of the world a bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
just how big it is.
Yeah, so they wonder how to get the garrison out, and that's where Kelsier asks Vin, and Vin suggests the idea of attacking pits of Hudson. Then they are very impressed by this idea, given Lord Ruler will obviously not like the word of it to come out to general populace.
But also I appreciate how like Kelsey just asks Vin things about what she thinks, and this is where Vin's experience in the deepest part of the underworld really does come in.
Mm-hmm.
And how that's just because she basically, if you fight for the city and you win, that's great, but your army is broken.
Yeah.
It's very much they wouldn't use the phrase, but she's fully aware of the risk of a Pyrrhic victory.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
In that, great, you've won this massive battle, but half your army is dead.
Mm-hmm.
And your campaign is over.
Yeah, I mean, you are fighting for the Scar, and if the Scar dies, who are you fighting for?
Mm-hmm. And then we get the fun moment of like the suggestion of what they're going to do to get the garrison out comes from Vin.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then they formulate a plan that they'll send like 1,000 people to Pits of Hudson.
To the pits.
Yeah, so that
which means the Lord Ruler
out.
has to respond.
Mm-hmm.
Because he cannot afford the risk of losing them, because that's where his money is coming from.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, he cannot let the higher nobility know about it, which means he cannot send the Kolos army.
Yeah, so he has to send his personal garrison to that place.
And he probably wouldn't even come up with, well, there is no army that's coming to march on my city at this point. 7 days later, oh shit.
Yeah.
That's basically what that would lead up to. And on top of that, he probably, if the great houses are fighting, that means the elements are fighting,
mm-hmm.
which means the elements population is dropping like a rock.
Yeah, and when they are fighting amongst themselves, they will rather protect themselves than the city at large. So they might just escape rather than...
They might also
mm-hmm.
like redeploy troops from their castles to keep in the city
mm-hmm.
to their estates where they're getting their money from.
Yeah, and then this plan gets mentioned, and comes the moment where they talk about how will they arm this troop and the army that they're gathering. And this is the fun part.
I knew he was gonna come back.
Yeah, Lord Renault comes back.
I didn't expect it this way.
Yeah,
I didn't expect it this way, and it immediately made me go, oh no, it's not that he's a good guy.
Mm-hmm.
Kelsey replaced him.
Yeah,
and that does make more sense for
mm-hmm.
what we know of the world, but it's also the fact that they refuse to say
how Kelsey replaced. Yeah.
Because at first it's like, oh, it's a good imposter. The fact that he then asks and doesn't know, and the breach is, you don't want to know. Which tells me it's something absolutely terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
And it's homunculus, puppets.
Likely, yeah. Some kind of doppelganger
changing,
and stuff. Yeah.
Who could shift shape.
Mm-hmm.
Shapeshift.
Yeah.
It's like probably one of those things, and it rightfully scares the crap out of people.
Mm-hmm.
Because the second you add in the reality of shapeshifters, you can no longer trust people.
We'll have to figure out how these shapeshifters work if we have to trust each of these people.
If it's a shapeshifter,
yeah,
he looks like it, but it's clear he's constantly using elemental powers to do it.
Yeah, because he says the invigilators? No, inquisitors.
The Inquisition,
Yeah.
the Inquisitors. Well, you cannot allow him near an Inquisitor, which
Mm-hmm.
means Vernu cannot go into the city.
Yeah, and that is also why then they come up with a plan of a spy. And everyone backs out because everyone is relatively known.
Either relatively known or just is cannot do it. Yeadon cannot do it. He's the leader of the Scar Rebellion. Clubs is too well known.
Yeah.
Um,
Kelsier and Doxon are also known. The Doxon was seen by Lord Ruler himself. Kelsier obviously was seen by Lord Ruler himself. Breeze says that he has so many identities that he doesn't want to get confused for one.
Yeah. And Ham says, I'm shit at acting.
Yes.
So fair enough. They then ask the nephew.
And just seeing his accent, Kelsier is like, no.
Nope. If he had a strong northern accent, maybe. Unfortunately, his accent is eastern. And that leaves one person.
Yeah, Vin, or poor Vin.
And she just admits like that Green gave her some lessons in how to act like a nobleman, which is a good thing to do.
I mean,
if you want to scam people.
Yeah. If you want to scam someone, like Cayman was impersonating a nobleman pretty well.
Yeah, she doesn't also probably wouldn't want to admit it, but she did learn by observing Cayman. She knew how to she knew how to better act to the station than Cayman did.
Yeah. I mean, her instincts are also on point, more so than Cayman's ever were.
Yeah, but Cayman was a bit of a moron, so...
That is fair. He didn't even know what Vin is doing. And he knew about mistings. It's not like he didn't know about mistings.
Yeah, I think it's also, we really do notice that Ham really is a sort of philosopher type.
Yeah, he constantly bickers with Breeze and his outlandish ideas.
And the fact that he loves a rhetorical question because he can just explain things, and I love that because I don't understand rhetorical questions.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense if you are if you cannot understand sarcasm or rhetorical question, like how someone is the subtext of a given thing, then you will obviously go on to explain your joke or your question or whatever you're trying to explain. And as someone who does that, you do that, I do that at points. It's very good to see some character in a book do the same. Like, you don't often get you get the wisecracking characters, obviously. You don't get the characters who purposefully explain the things that are not meant to be explained.
Yeah, because of who they are.
Not because they are trying to make a joke, obviously. Yeah.
Bit familiar.
Yeah.
Then we end chapter with we're done. And it's I love the thing that how are we dealing with the Inquisitors? And I just and that's when Marsh arrives.
Yeah, Kelsier is like, everyone asks how will we deal with the Steel Ministry, and Kelsier is like, I'll let my brother do it. And Marsh says, no, the hell you won't.
It was a fun thing of, we know there's a hell.
Yeah. And that's when everyone walks out, obviously. And Vin returns 3 minutes later to listen.
To be fair, Vin hadn't been paying attention to the door.
No.
For the first time, she's not completely aware of her surroundings, which to me tells me that she did feel like she's either too distracted by the noblewoman thing, or she's actually feeling good, safe enough in this place, somewhat.
Safe enough, accepted enough in this group where no one is directly harming her or questioning her abilities and stuff like that.
They follow up on her suggestions.
Yeah, her input is warranted.
She's getting praise, probably for the first time ever.
when Kelsier asks her, Breeze notices her discomfort and tries to protect her, but obviously she knows the answer, the correct answer, and obviously gives it. But I like how Breeze tries to intervene and lessen her discomfort in like this first one of her first big meetings, technically, because she was never a part of big meetings when it came to Cayman.
Because they do know she's a new recruit, so they're a bit protective.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Yeah. And all of them have grown up as a Scar, so they know, obviously.
Yeah, and I also just love the introduction of like Marsh. Like, he does look quite a bit like his brother. He's older.
Yeah.
He's tall. He's tall. He's very much like what you'd expect of a very strong individual.
Yes. And
the way personality to match.
Yeah. The way Eden sort of shows deference to him. We get to learn about his leadership qualities even without it being mentioned. Like, if Eden, who we see is such a person who doesn't want to work with thieves, doesn't want to work with murderers and stuff like that, and he's showing deference to someone, obviously that person is also following the same principles, because Eden is not the kind of person who would show deference to someone of a different principle.
Yeah, and then we just get the whole thing of, okay, we're done, everyone leaves, and unsurprisingly, Vin is too curious for her own good.
Yeah.
But yeah, these chapters are good. These are fun chapters. These are long chapters. Yeah.
And then, obviously, finally, epigraph. We get the mention of a Rashek, who's a terraceman, young, but still extremely respected among his kind. And he is apparently very rude and hateful towards whoever's writing this. And obviously their homeland, Kelenium, which is an interesting name. I mean, there's not much to really say about that. We'll learn more about Rasek, and then maybe we'll be able to talk about the relationship between the author and Rasek, obviously. But yeah. Overall thoughts.
That's that.
The 3 chapters.
This is very much setup stuff, but very good setup stuff for what the rest of this book is going to be. And I like how detailed this plan is. This is not a thing of, it's detailed, but not so much that you need to, write out minute details. Like, do we need to know how they're going to organize this army? No, at least not right now, if it's really needed.
Yeah.
Let's be honest, the most likely candidate is that this is just going to be a rabble.
Yeah, I mean, we see everyone's part in it. We know Breeze is going to see the recruitment. We know Ham is going to see after the training. We know Kelsier is going to see after the weapons and other stuff. We know Doxon is doing the same. So everyone has some part to play in it. And they will obviously focus on their own parts. We don't need to know how someone will focus on their own part.
The only one who we need to know how they're going to do the parts are Kelsier and Vin.
Yeah, because Vin is going to portray someone who's in stark contrast with her own existence.
It gets even worse when you consider the fact that she wasn't comfortable enough in clean clothing.
Yeah. Imagine
and
wearing
now she's going to be
gowns and
It's also
stuff.
One of those things where she's going to act like the one thing she was always thought to not be. That's a woman.
And she will have to stand out rather than blend in, because to be a nobleman is to stand out.
To be fair, you can stand out in public and still be a bit reclusive.
Yeah. I mean, she will have to blend in the nobility and stand out amongst the Ska, obviously.
She's gonna have to learn to walk like with confidence.
Yeah.
Something she has about 0 of.
Yeah.
This was fun.
Yeah, and we are like, 2 chapters from the end of this part?
Yeah, there's 2 more chapters in this part, and I think that's just going to be the next episode. No more after that, and I mean, you could do a good time recap.
Yeah. What do you think is going to happen? Given the pace of this book, a lot is happening in relatively short time.
A lot is happening, but I will remind you this book has 5 parts.
Yeah.
And as I mentioned, because of where we are in the audiobook, we still have 20 hours left.
Yes.
And just looking at it, the chapter lengths, most chapters aren't as long as these.
Mm-hmm.
But these are long chapters. We still have 2 long chapters to go, by the way.
I mean, this was the planning phase, so it's gonna be long.
The planning phase, especially with how detailed the planning phase is in this, which is contrary to most things.
Mm-hmm.
Like, compare this to things like planning the Battle of Hogwarts in Deathly Hallows.
There was a plan?
That was barely a plan.
Yeah.
Because they don't have time to plan.
Fair.
We never get a detailed plan in those books.
Mm-hmm.
Those books are very much more wing it. And it works out, but there is also just a thing of sometimes you need a somewhat more detailed plan, like Percy Jackson, The Last Olympian.
Mm-hmm.
That's the defense of New York is somewhat detailed.
Yes.
But not to this level.
I mean, this is overthrowing an empire. Comparing to defending New York, like the scale is incredibly large.
From
in
the
one.
background, and in the background you can get something in like A Song of Ice and Fire. You can get that these plans are being made, but because we constantly jump between so many characters, you never get them.
A Song of Ice and Fire is also not about the plans; it's about the characters themselves, like how they react.
Characters in the politics.
Yeah. So, I mean, we do hear about plans, obviously, from time to time, except for the one big character, Littlefinger, what the fuck he's doing on.
We basically have no clue what Varys. We have no clue what Littlefinger.
Yeah. So the big plan makers, we don't know what they are doing.
There's a reason there's so many theories.
Mm-hmm.
Now, come on. At least it's winter already.
Yeah.
I literally have an entire section of A Song of Ice and Fire.
Yeah.
I'm on the fit. It's not full. I need full. Admittedly, I also need to buy Fire and Blood still. So
yeah.
But yeah, these were fun chapters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. See you next time.
Hey. Bye-bye.
Bye.